Hey, this is Tyler with TJack Survival. We're down here at Rabitstick and with Keely, who makes boats from scratch. All right, so we're going to show you a little bit of a discussion on how this is done, so stay tuned.
Hi folks, my name is Keely with Seawolf Kayak. I'm here at Rabitstick, which is probably the oldest and largest primitive skills gathering in the world. It's a great place to meet people that are doing some of the pretty much the cutting edge stuff in primitive technology. I'm here to talk a little bit about skin-on-frame kayaks. I'm a builder of skin-on-frame kayaks. I've been doing it for a very long time now. I am a Nanai, which is Siberian native, and my ancestors built boats that were the precursors to kayaks. True kayaks are actually skin covered over a frame, and so these boats were paddled originally around the Pacific Rim, the North Pacific Rim, as well as over northern Canada and Greenland. They're ultra light in their modern form, so just like with most indigenous technologies, they've continued to evolve to this day. A boat like this, which is 18 feet long, is only 28 pounds. It's super light, and they're also extremely strong and durable. So it gives you an idea of it. You see how strong they are. The internal framing of these boats is basically a wood-framed construction. You can see, if we pull out the interior here, you can see the frame is constructed of cedar and bamboo, which is a modern alternative. It's a more sustainable alternative. And then the whole thing is lashed together, so there's no metal connectors. It makes the boat a lot stronger. As a result of tying everything together, there's a little bit of flex in every joint, and as a result, it spreads the force of any impact or any kind of puncture out among the skin throughout the entire boat, making them really strong. Boats like this today are still using ballistic nylon skins instead of seal skins, are now today the lightest boats that are available regardless of the material. All right. So back in the day, skin-on-frame kayaks, or kayaks in general, were used for marine mammal hunting. Sometimes they were used for caribou, and because they're used up in the far north, the boats like this were built basically in places where there were no trees. You're above the tree line. There's no place to find building materials. So when it comes down to it, when you're on the tundra, the coastal areas are where you live because that's where you get marine mammals and fish and food. And when you walk down the beach, sometimes you find driftwood. And so from that amazing amount of traditional ecological knowledge of the land, native peoples around the Pacific Rim took that driftwood and made boats out of it by constructing a frame and then taking the marine mammals that they caught using boats to wrap the exterior so that they were able to create craft like this. And what's amazing is that those boats at that time, Europeans, especially the Russians, came over and visited some of the kayak making peoples, and at that time they said that the boats were about 50% faster than the fastest ships that they had. So it gives you a really good indication of how fast and how incredibly advanced the technology was even back then. Today, skin-on-frame kayaks are still a really important part of the cultural heritage for kayak-making peoples. Some people, especially in Greenland, they continue to hunt seals and other marine mammals out of kayaks. For a lot of other peoples, they're just used for cultural reasons, and so you'll see them being paddled and built. I build and teach, along with my partner Addie. The two of us teach skin-on-frame building worldwide. We're the biggest builders of skin-on-frame or kayaks in this style anywhere in the world. We teach all over Europe, Australia, and the United States. And it's pretty amazing to see people come to a workshop with a pretty minimal amount of knowledge and be able to leave having built an entire boat. In 10 days' time, we start from lumber or from just basically just wood, and we cut it down to its constituent parts, steam bend the ribs, drill holes and make mortises so that the ribs are set inside, and then lash everything together. And so you can see all of the lashings here, all this kind of stuff here. It's all put together and pulled tight by hand, and then the lashings hold everything together. So it's a really pretty amazing construction process. And as we build the boats too, you go through a lot of different types of woodworking. So we make mortise and tenon joints on compound angles. So there's no parallel lines, there's no square lines in the boat. And that is, in a lot of ways, that's the hardest form of woodworking. You can't work off of just plans and what things should be. You can't measure angles. So you have to build things based on how, on a method of boat building that's very old, where you're not relying on the way that lines on a plan come together, but the way that the wood actually attaches to itself, and that you're forming those angles based on forms and things rather than measurements. Let's see. The ribs themselves are steam bent, and they're bent by hand into the right shape. A lot of the building of a boat comes from, or a lot of the design of a boat comes from the prototyping to figure out the rib lengths and the rib shapes. The hull of a boat is the sacred thing. It's really the hull shape of a boat is all the difference between paddling something that moves at 2 miles an hour and 6 miles an hour in the water with the same amount of effort. So it's a big difference. Modern kayaks have really come a long way in terms of the hull shape, because of the different things that we do with kayaks now. Back in the day, people were much better paddlers, so they made up for any inconsistencies in hull shapes. Now we have people that don't paddle very frequently, but the hull shapes are better and they're able to take care of us more. So if you want to find out more about skin-on-frame kayaks, you can check out seawolfkayak.com. That's SEAWOLFKAYAK.com. Also, you should check out the Rabitstick Rendezvous. This is the world's most amazing gathering of people, the people that are actually going out living and doing this stuff day by day, and ranges the gamut from primitive skills and survival all the way up to modern-day permaculture and traditional camping, everything in between. So you have people who are hunters in very remote rural environments, and to urban people that are learning about edible and medicinal plants. This is a really cool thing, and it's been my family for a long time. So please hit the subscribe button, and thanks for listening to TJack Survival.